Welcome back, all you Iced GT gamers. This is Iced GT coming to you live from Southern California. In today's Anthem video, we have got a lot to talk about as usual. I'm fresh back from my holiday season hiatus. So much has happened in the world of Anthem news since my last video that I actually had a hard time figuring out where to start. In the end, I decided that we should all have a discussion about the recent CES exclusive trailer that NVIDIA dropped on us this week. On top of stunning visuals, NVIDIA announced that they are working with BioWare to introduce their new DLSS technology into Anthem, but it was a little unclear as to whether or not this was a technology that was going to be available at launch, which is a little disappointing in the way that they announced it. For those of you not following up on PC graphics card tech, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. DLSS, called Deep Learning Super Sampling, is a technology that NVIDIA has released with their newest RTX line of graphics cards, the 2080, 2070, and newly announced 2060 model. Games that are going to be using this technology fall into two categories. There are games that were not specifically made for this technology, but have integrated it after the fact, and to do so, they have to settle for rendering 4K images in 1440p resolution and then upscaling them, even if the game naturally supported 4K resolution previously. And while this does produce certain performance gains of up to 21% if you believe the example of Final Fantasy 15 that I put a link in the description for, the downgrade in quality is not really something that I personally go for, especially in the flickering effects that it produces in very thin objects. However, the second category is when games are specifically made to support this technology, and then the image doesn't need to be downscaled. Supposedly, there are performance gains that are done using this method where you don't have to downgrade the resolution and then upscale the image afterwards. Which leads me to my whole point for this video. What does DLSS mean for Anthem? NVIDIA certainly made a big deal about it at CES this week and produced an entire trailer video promoting Anthem. Certainly they've got a reason for it, right? Well, that's actually hard to say. As of the making of this video, I could not find any benchmarks done yet using the limited number of games that have been made specifically for this tech that compare performance and visuals both while using DLSS and then switching to a more traditional anti-aliasing method. The only benchmark I could find was the aforementioned Final Fantasy 15 one, where it was sort of jury-rigged in after the fact. And those performance gains, like I said, with quality issues, not my cup of tea. As a whole, then I think that while the trailer is pretty, it's more of a marketing piece for NVIDIA than anything else, who are trying to get gamers to fork out somewhere between $349 and $1,500 for one of their newest RTX cards. Prices for NVIDIA's GTX line of cards still haven't really recovered from the digital currency mining craze either. Ever since people discovered during Bitcoin's infancy that you could generate more digital currency to sell by running the processing through a GPU rather than a CPU, miners have been buying up every GPU that they could get their hands on, which drastically raised the prices due to higher demand. That meant that Joe Schmo common PC gamer couldn't really afford to regularly upgrade their PC to support newer techs like DLSS, and while GPU prices have sort of quasi-stabilized a little bit more in recent times, it's still out of reach for the vast majority of PC gamers. I happen to be a big PC gamer. The pre-order that I placed for Anthem is for the PC, despite the fact that I own both a PS4 and an Xbox One. I prefer using keyboard and mouse for looter shooter games instead of a controller, and I prefer having an unrestricted frame rate rather than the capped out one like on a console version of the game. But like most of you, I'm just going to have to hope that the RTX line of cards come down in price drastically once the second generation of cards in that line come out in another couple of years. Ice GT's wallet is not deep enough to support a Founders Edition card, let me tell you. As a result, I think that in the vast majority of cases, people are not going to be able to get to experience Anthem using the DLSS feature, at least in the short term. On a complete side note, NVIDIA's GeForce RTX cards are also capable of another technology in its infancy, that of real-time ray tracing. But unfortunately, they've announced that Anthem is not going to be using this technology, at least not at launch. I won't bore you with the technical details on the technology, but suffice it to say that it can produce some incredibly realistic looking lighting and reflection effects. It's traditionally been something that only movie studios could afford to do because it took supercomputers hours or even days to render a single scene before. But graphics cards are finally becoming powerful enough to handle this kind of thing in real time. Whether it's technically feasible to introduce it later in Anthem, that's way beyond my pay grade. Though if you're interested in learning more about that technology, I'll put a link to a couple of really cool examples in the description down below. In conclusion, I'd have to say that overall DLSS will probably be a good thing for Anthem, and may allow NVIDIA to get this tech to gain popularity among developers, such that you'll see most games supporting it in 3 to 5 years. And when you couple that with the fact that BioWare has stated that they want Anthem to have a 10-year lifespan, I think that eventually the majority of PC gamers could see this tech grace their screens at some point. But again, prices on GPUs are going to have to come down significantly before that happens. Let's all hope that that happens in the near future. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you like this content and you want to see more of it on my channel, please like and subscribe down below. And if you dislike, feel free to leave a dislike. Please comment, positive or negative. I love to hear your feedback, and I try to reply to every single comment that comes my way. I love hearing your feedback. It really makes my day, and I go out of my way to respond to every single one. And as always, this is IceGT signing off. Have a great night.